Hi everyone, happy holidays. I hope you're all doing well and having a great time. I'm coming today to you with this in between the Christmas and New Year video to really start the new year with motivation and a strong foundation to build from. Before we get into the planning and the bullet journal part of this video, which I'm really excited about, I also wanted to share a little bit about my habits and how the bullet journal really helps with planning, but then there is the acting part that's also important. Writing everything in a journal or in a calendar and then not actually acting on those goals and intentions is not really going to set us for success or make us go anywhere with it. So personally, there are a few habits and routines that I want to keep in my life and then others that I want to add on or improve. So I'm starting the new year with a 31-day challenge in collaboration with Open, which is sponsoring this part of the video. Open is my favorite online platform and app to practice meditation, breathwork, and also yoga and Pilates. It's like an all-in-one, on-demand or live platform, and they also have in-person classes as well if you live in LA. And this January, to set strong foundation for success in your routine in the new year, they are starting the year with a 31-day challenge for breathwork and meditation with new classes every day that take 10 minutes or less. I'm personally really excited to join. I've been already practicing on the platform regularly anyways, but I find that really committing to a daily practice is the next step for me. I also love Open because it has so many different classes for meditation and breath work where I've got to learn new exercises and tools on how to meditate or do breathing exercises, and it's made my practice actually a lot more fun and enjoyable, and I've actually been excited and looking forward to practicing and discovering new ways of doing it. For me, a meditation or breathwork practice in the morning is really something that sets the tone for my day, that really uplifts my mood, reduces my anxiety or stress, and increases my focus as well. I really feel like joining this challenge is going to set the tone for the rest of my year, and I'd love for you to join as well. For anyone who completes the challenge, you automatically get entered to win an in-person retreat with Open in 2023. You can still sign up until December 31st. I have a link down below which you can use to get free access to the 31-day challenge, and on top of the meditation and breathwork classes that you'll have access to, you can also join the yoga, HIIT, or Pilates class as well for free, and it's unlimited. Now, before we get into the action part, we need to get into the planning part, so let's get into the bullet journal and my journaling habit and routine for the new year. This is my old bullet journal. It is one from Dick Bat's notebooks. I love this brand. It's been years that I've been using it and I really absolutely love it. So if you're looking for a new bullet journal or any type of notebook journal, this is a great brand and I can highly vouch for it. I will have a link down in the description for you. And then in terms of the pens, I use Muji pens in 0.5. I like the 0.38, but I ran out of those, so I've been using 0.5, which are great as well. My bullet journal for this year is the typical bullet journal from Leuchtturm, and that's also a brand that I've had for multiple years and really like. This one is the specific bullet journal one. Personally, any dotted notebook will work. I started my bullet journal with a year overview where I have all of the months and all of the dates of the year, and the way I did it this year is that I decided to color write the days in which I was planned to have my period and on the days that I'm planned to ovulate. The period's in red and the ovulation days are in blue. It might vary, and I think I'm quite curious to see if those remain accurate or if it varies over the year. I did fill out this calendar with the help of the app that I've been using to track my cycle, and I've been using both the Daisy app, which is connected to the Daisy device, and Flow. This is just personal. I've tried to organized my life a little bit more around my cycle, as my cycle is quite defined in different seasons and different like waves. So I've tried to like learn more about that so that I can ride those waves better. I think as a woman it can be definitely like something that can make quite a difference. And then the next page is basically a double page around my personal and professional goals. In personal, it's more about health, my personal intentions, my like relationship, social life, like creativity, whereas professional is more like work, career, education, and finances. And then I separate my goals into the quarters of the year so that I kind of spread them out throughout the year. Certain goals, priorities at certain times with certain seasons. So that's how I like to organize it so that it doesn't feel like too much. I find that like sometimes in January we set up like so many goals for the new year and it can be quite overwhelming, and I think like with not knowing really like when are we going to accomplish those goals, is it something that we work towards every day, or is it something that gets done at a specific time, or it will take like a few months to accomplish. That's how I like to break them down. And then on the right page, it's basically the same but broken down throughout months. So it could be also like smaller goals. When it's monthly goals or weekly goals or daily goals, they kind of like get smaller and smaller. So I'm breaking down like my big goals into like smaller goals. Then on the second page, I've got my content calendar and invoices. So this is all very related to work, and where I like to write down like what are the collaborations that are planned for each month of the year. And then the right page is about to keep track of my invoices, when they were sent and if they were paid. On the next page, I've got a brain dump like ideas page. I like to have a page like that in my bullet journal somewhere to just write down like video ideas, or even just like it could be like personal things that I want to do and a movie that I want to watch or something like that, like a recommendation that I get from someone. So I like to have like kind of a blank page. It could be also like podcast ideas. Could be so many things. And then I've got a page for books, and this year I want to keep track of which books I'm reading and in which month, but just so that I get to see a bit like over the year, where there's some months where I read a lot and others where I didn't, and you know, like kind of keep myself accountable with my reading practice. And then I left a few pages empty just because I might want to add new like pages for more like general overviewing things, like maybe a page for like the podcast where I can write down all the episodes that I'm planning to do, or I don't know, I'm just leaving a few pages blank just in case there is more like yearly trackers or something that I want to have in the beginning that I haven't decided to do yet, but could find the benefit for that in the future. And then we're going into my monthly log, which is very simple. And I mean, my whole like setup is pretty simple. I like my bullet journal to not take like a really long time to set up and just be like this very functional, minimal, clean slate every month that I get to fill out with everything that's really important to me. I have a month overview on the left, which is just like all the days of the month, and then I write like the main events, big things that I need to remember, or someone's birthday. And then on the right side, I have my intentions for the month, whether it's personal or professional. It's like a mix of like intentions, goals, and tasks. In there, I might separate it more, but I wanted to keep it simple for now, and just have like a few things in each of those categories. But like, for example, things that I would write in the past in like personal stuff is like, say, I want to stick with my breathwork practice. So like that's like a personal intentions thing that I'm like being aware that I want to work on during that specific month. Or let's say I want to join this course about astrology, and I'm planning to do that during that month. Or let's say professionally, my goal is to launch the podcast or record 5 new episodes or something like that. So those are like the monthly goals and focus for and priorities for that specific month. After that, I've got my habit tracker, which I kind of gave up in the second half of 2022, and I want to bring back in because I really liked how accountable it made me to how I'm keeping up with my habits. And I realized that the days where there are certain activities and habits that I accomplish, it's not about accomplishing and completing them, but the fact of doing them, the process of doing them, really brings me a lot of joy and peace in my life, and I want to keep up with them. So the first one is mindfulness, and by mindfulness I mean both breathwork or meditation, or both. So for me right now, I'm in this stage in my life where if I do either or, I'm very happy and it fills its purpose. And some days I'll feel more like doing a breath work, some days I'll feel more like a meditation. So both are great, and I want to track that I'm at least doing either or every day would be ideal. Then movement, that's like just exercising and keeping track of making sure I'm moving my body every day. And then I have reading, so keeping track if I've opened a book that day and read a little bit. It doesn't matter how long or how much, just that I'm consistently reading. And then journaling, that's been the one that I feel like I'd like to have a habit where I journal every day more consistently and find a routine around that. So that's also why I'm making this video, is also to hold myself accountable and share with you a little bit like how I'm planning to journal, how I've journaled until now and how I'm planning to journal in the new year. I find that journaling like really helps me like kind of empty everything out, and for me journaling can also be a very creative process, so it also fills that cup of mine that really wants to like create and like make art. You'll understand more when I share with you a bit more about my journals when I'm done with that. And then on the right side, I just have like a budget page, which I will use to track my spendings and earnings. This is something that I've not been consistent in this past year, and I want to get back into a routine with that and kind of have a budget, and yeah, just being a little bit more mindful around my finances. So we'll try that out. And then after that, I have my weekly log, which is very simple. I've got every day of the week onto 2 pages, and I've just got lots of space every day to write down what are the main tasks and priorities for that day, things that are urgent, important. Yeah, that's how I do it. It's very simple and it works for me. The journaling part of my life. How about we change like environment for that? Let's go somewhere else. So I've used a lot of the Dingbat notebooks in blank for journals in the past, which are great if you want like a thick, sturdy journal. Highly recommend them, can highly vouch for them. I personally, this past year, have really enjoyed more thinner journals like these. This is one that I got in Mexico. I'm still using it. I haven't finished even half of it. I've had it for like about 6 months. Really like this one, but I wouldn't get it again. I think it was beautiful and quite pricey. I love like how beautiful it is here, but it does get damaged pretty easily. If you're looking for something thin that won't be too heavy, if you're already carrying like a bullet journal with you and like you like to bring your journal everywhere with you, and you want like something like that, I would recommend this one, which are like a thin moleskin. I personally like mine to be blank, so yeah, that's what I go for. But just to give you an idea of like how I journal is like I'll stick photos in my journal and just like write around them. So, and like draw on them, and I stick a lot of things in my journal and they thicken a lot over time. Sometimes I even use paint, I use like watercolors. So this is how I personally journal. Journaling for me is not just a brain dump of like everything I'm feeling or everything I want to say. It's also like a moment of my day where I can just be creative. I listen to music and I just draw. It's any form of like expression, not any form, but like on paper form of expressions that I could imagine. I do lots of collages. So yeah, really love these small ones, and I think once I'm done with this one, which I don't think can be bought online anyways, I'm gonna go back to these tiny Måneskin ones. They're really, really nice and actually way more sturdy than this one that I had gotten. This next year I'm gonna be journaling in here, and there's lots of blank pages still, but there's also like lots of like things that I've drawn, written and stuff. And so the way that like I did also use this for in the last like 6 months or so is that I use this journal to write new moon and full moon journaling. I liked like having everything in one place, and at the same time I didn't. I actually really like the idea of like maybe have a journal that's just more for that. And guess what? I found it. It's called Ola Luna. It's a moon journal. Like, look at this beautiful. It's like a huge book. It's absolutely gorgeous. This is not something I'm gonna be carrying around. So this is great for like an at-home journaling practice. And initially I thought that this journal was just about journaling at the new moon and the full moon. But no, this is a daily journal, obviously following the cycle of the moon. So I think that this is gonna really help me because the dates are already in. It's gonna help me with keeping up with journaling every day. And I also love how, well, it keeps up with the cycles of the moon, but then it also has like specific questions for each day, so it can help like having prompts to writing. And you also have beautiful illustrations in it, but also, let me show you, a monthly also overview every month of like when the full moon is going and then when it's the new moon. So that's also really nice. And yeah, so besides this book being absolutely beautiful, it's also a really nice gift idea. I know Christmas is past, but you know, if you still want to gift yourself something for the new year, this is beautiful. Like, this is gonna be on my coffee table as a decor piece and my daily journal. Then I'll still continue using this one as like a more artsy journal if I want to like create and like, you know, write things and stick things and do like collages. I also want to use this one to like every new moon and full moon, like pulling a card and like maybe writing about that. So yeah, that's how I'm planning to journal in 2023 and how I have journaled so far. So this is like the new addition to my routine, and I'll keep you posted with how that routine goes. But yeah, I'm very, very excited, and I will also put the references down below for this journal and also the notebook and yeah, the Honolulu moon journal for any one of you who are interested. So this is it for today's video. It was a pretty long one, but I wanted to really like take the time to really like set the foundations for the new year and really like share with you some tools and habits that I had and have and want to keep going with, and the parts that I want to improve and how I'm going about it. I'm very excited for anyone who's also going to be joining the meditation and breathwork challenge. And if you have also any like tips or any like journaling activities or prompts or routine that you have that you want to share, definitely feel free to share everything in the comments below. I would be super inspired to reading a little bit more about what your routine and practices or prompts are. That is it for today. Thank you so much for being here and for joining me, and I'm really also looking forward to a new year together with you all, and hopefully a more grounded one. I definitely feel so. And I also wanted to just genuinely thank you all for being here and being part of this community for this last year. I just wanted to say thank you for being so patient with me, for having so much compassion and love, and for being so supportive during this time, and just like also being so respectful of me sharing certain things and also not sharing certain things. Like, I think that it's just made me feel a lot more safe and held and like supported in as part of this community. And, I'm very excited about this new coming year. I've got some exciting projects that I'm so excited to share with you all, and I'm really looking forward to continuing in shooting new content in this new home. I hope you're enjoying the new backgrounds, and I will see you in January. Bye!